Okay, it still hasn't come up in my YouTube. But again, folks on chat, if you can hear me and see us, please let us know on chat. I can see there's a big fan club for Mohith already building up. But do let us know if the AV is clear.
We are live on YouTube.
Okay. Okay, great. I can finally see it. Awesome. Awesome. People on chat also do let us know if the AV is clear. Okay. Great. Just one second. Just in terms of camera settings, Abhishek, can you please check if because I can't see myself on YouTube.
Correct. Abhishek, is it something you need to change in gallery settings or something?
Yeah, maybe actually remove the follow host order. I think that's the setting that's probably messing it up.
Done. It will take 1 minute to.
Okay. All right.
It will take 1 minute to.
1 second. Sorry about that, folks. There's some technical difficulties. I'm hearing.
You're in. On
YouTube,
yeah,
but I'm hearing. Second. Sorry about that, folks. There's some technical difficulties. I'm hearing.
You're in.
I'm hearing an echo. I'm hearing an echo.
Technical difficulties. You're in.
1 second. Okay. Yes. Okay. No, I was just hearing an echo earlier. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. All right, people. So welcome everyone to this very exciting session. You already know what we're going to do. We're going to be conducting live mock interviews for your B school admissions for your MBA programs. Okay, we do this every year in different variations. Usually it's focused on SPGen. This year we have decided to do like broad general mock interviews on YouTube Live so that you folks can observe and gain a lot out of it. Okay, so before I begin, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself and the panel that we have. My name is Jatin. I'm the head of verbal ability and reading comprehension and student care at 2IIM. Very quick introduction. You all know Rajesh. I don't need to introduce him. He's the CEO of 2IIM. I think that's enough said. You folks know him. We also have Vasant. Vasant is the head of digital sales at 2IIM, and he comes in with 18 years of experience in the corporate world and also in this industry. He's worked with major CAD providers. Okay, so the three of us are going to be in the panel for these mock interviews, and we have three very brave candidates, very brave students from 2IIM who have raised their hand to be a part of these interviews. Okay, I'm personally very proud of them because it's not easy to do this, right? It's not easy to come on YouTube in front of a live audience, not only get feedback from a panel, but also kind of be judged by the entire audience. Okay, so one request to everyone on chat. Okay, please be extremely kind and constructive when it comes to these candidates. Okay, leave the critical feedback to us. That's our job. We'll try our best to do it. Encourage them, motivate them, stick to the topic, but please be very constructive and kind. Okay, that's my sincere request to everyone. All right, so we're going to do 3 candidates today. Now, each candidate's interview will last for about 30 minutes, which includes the feedback section as well. So it will be about 15 minutes of interview followed by 15 minutes of feedback, and then we'll go through 3 candidates. Okay, all right. So on that note, let's have the first candidate on board, or the first student on board. Mohith, can you please switch on your camera? Awesome, Mohit. Can you hear us? Can you say something? Is the voice clear?
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Everything's clear. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. So let's get started. Mohit, as you know, we'll do 15 minutes of interview followed by 15 minutes of feedback.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get started. All right. Mohit, good evening.
Good evening, sir. It's nice to be here. I hope you guys are all doing well.
Yes, we are. Thanks for asking. Why don't you start by telling us something about yourself?
Well, as you know, my name is Mohith Kunchala, and I am presently a third-year student at the Integrated Program Management at IIFT. I am presently living in Hyderabad with my family. And as for academic interests, I'm quite interested in the field of marketing after going through my entire BBA course and gaining all the insights in the business world. I've also participated in multiple competitions when it comes to marketing and have even achieved great results when it comes to a few of these. Moving on to some of my personal interests, I have quite a few hobbies that I really enjoy, such as I love playing the sport volleyball. I'm not extremely good at it, but it's definitely one of my favorite pastimes. I somewhat follow the sport online as well when it comes to the pro athletes as well. Along with that, I do enjoy editing videos. This has been a skill that's actually helped me quite a bit when it comes to things such as my competitions. I also occasionally play video games and passionately follow the esports scene for one particular game. And last but not the least, I absolutely love and adore cooking and everything that's related to food. So much so that I'd say one of my biggest goals in life is to someday open my own restaurant and run that as a business.
What you've had a fascinating run with marketing. You've won competitions on it. Are you happy with your grades in your BBA?
My grades in BBA are definitely my point of, I'd say the one regret that I have. My grades have been quite down, but I would definitely like to take the responsibility for this because I did not perform up to the best of my caliber. But there are quite a few factors that have come into this that have stopped me from performing at my best. And also make the numbers appear a little worse than they might be. To start off, I'd like to talk about my college's grading system. We have a relative grading system when it comes with a batch size of 40. So it's a little tough on the students, especially since there's only a few students who are going to be getting the top grades out of those 40. Let's say there's around 5 students who have gotten something that's above a 8 grade point. So because that any students that are slightly lagging behind fall behind and get a much worse grade point than what actually is their marks or the competency.
Okay. Which college do you study at?
I presently study at IFT Kakinada.
Okay.
Along with that,
particular about the grade curve, or are they not?
They are particular, sir. Very particular.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think it's all right for the IIM to take this grade into account, because a 7.1 at Kakinada could be a fantastic score, whereas an 8.3 at IIT Delhi could be very average. So do you think
I definitely think that. Sorry, I definitely think that it is meant to be considered because it does count for my academic consistency.
Okay.
But I definitely would like to portray the entire picture if I were to talk about my grades. I think it's extremely fair to judge me off of my academic scores at the moment. When I have the opportunity, I'd like to show all the reasons for why the grades are as they are.
Okay.
So my question, I understand that the grading system is tough at your college, and that is one of the reasons why your scores are low, right?
Yes, sir.
Currently, your percentage for the last 4 semesters is 50. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So where does that place you in your batch? You said there are 40 students. Where does that place you?
Yes, sir. Among the 40 students, I happen to place somewhere in the bottom 10. That would be the most honest answer I can give.
Okay. And if I look at your 10th, 12th UG scores, there's also a decline, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're also saying that academic excellence performance is a fair sort of measure for B schools to judge students.
Yes, sir.
So then why should a B school select you over students who I'm sure will have much better grades than you in academics? Like, what do you bring to the table?
So I believe that while this academic consistency point has been to my detriment when it comes to my profile, I do think that there's a lot of other factors that make up for it and also show that I am a competent individual. For example, I'd like to talk. I have participated in 2 different internships. I've been a part of 2 different internship programs. And along with that, I've also, as I've said, I have a lot of extracurriculars under my belt. I've been a part of 2 different clubs in higher positions within those clubs. And as I mentioned, I've even participated in those competitions, shown great results in some competitions. And to top it off, I think one of my best measures of competency, or not me being academically strong or being strong with my aptitude, would be my CAT percentile. I scored a 99.38 percentile in CAT, which is, I think, a great indicator for where my competency lies.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Um, you're still in your final year. You're going to complete your BBA this year, right? In 2025.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Why? I'm very curious. Why are you jumping into an MBA immediately? I mean, since you're doing an BBA degree, I'm sure you already know that getting work experience is probably even recommended for an MBA program. Why not get work experience for a couple of years and then do an MBA?
Presently, sir, since I am a part of an integrated program and management, I would be immediately going through with my MBA within IFT as well, if I were to stick to IFT. So my main reason for trying CAT and trying to get into a different college is to first of all find a college with a stronger college that I can enter, where I can get more aspects in my education. And along with that, another reason why I would prefer not to go for work experience at the moment is I feel like I have a higher learning appetite at the moment. I think that right now I'll be able to learn theoretical concepts and be able to absorb them a lot fuller.
When do you think it will go away?
So quite honestly, there
You
is
have a lot
no
of appetite
specific.
for learning at the moment,
Yeah.
which seems to suggest that will go up in some time. When might that happen?
I don't believe that a person ever stops learning, sir. But
Okay. No,
I
but you
do
said you
think,
have great learning appetite at the moment, right?
yes, sir.
Which means it's there at the moment and you're worried that it will go away after some time.
I just believe that at the moment it's a good natural progression for me to head from my BBA to an MBA because the concepts that I've had in my BBA are already strong, rather than focusing on the experiential learning at the moment, which I'm sure I will already get through an MBA program with the multiple case studies and the different kind of internships that I'll participate in. So I would rather focus more on the theoretical concepts that I can learn and have a stronger connection to at the moment due to being from a BBA background immediately, turning into an MBA.
I think the natural thing would be you've learned quite a few things in BBA. You're going to continue the same thing. Right now in BBA, you've learned a bunch of these things theoretically. Work
Yes,
for a
sir.
couple of years, get your hand dirty in the real world, in the corporate sector, and then appreciate the set of ideas better in an MBA, assuming your learning appetite won't fade off. Is it not a more intuitive thing to do? Because you've learned everything, bunch of things in BBA, and then you work, see how the real economy is, how the world is, then come back and do an MBA. Would that not be the more reasonable thing to do?
I believe that definitely is the option that most people go for, sir. But
Okay.
in my
So why
case, I
should you
also
not
have
go for that?
the integrated program that I'm a part of already. So
Okay.
exiting right now and leaving for a job immediately, that could put the MBA degree that I already have. That is going to put that in jeopardy. That I have available to me, the MBA program.
And
No,
So
but
anyway, not
Mohit,
even
there is an exit option. There's a formal exit option that you're using to
yes,
exit
sir.
this
Yes,
program. So why would that put your MBA program in jeopardy? You can gain an MBA after 2 years of work ex as well.
I could, sir. I just believe that at the moment, I've already learned a lot of concepts and I just want to continue learning at the moment. I feel like my mindset at the moment is more geared towards learning in a school and in a college environment.
Okay.
That's one of my biggest reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Mohit, you told you are interested in marketing. So why is
Yes,
that
sir.
so?
So I genuinely enjoyed the way marketing concepts have worked because first of all, I think that marketing is one of the most creative fields out there, and I enjoy playing with my creativity when it comes to building brand images, how people perceive these brand images, how you can tailor products or tailor specific aspects of your campaigns in order to target different people. I think all of these
Tell
aspects
one
really speak to
campaign that
me.
has interested you a lot, whether it be in advertisement or branding. Which is the brand that has actually captivated you the most?
Can I get a minute to recall it?
Sure,
What?
sure.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, sorry, sir. At the present moment, I can't seem to recall anything specific.
Okay, no problem. You
That,
told you want to use your creativity and do stuffs, right? So
Yeah.
you can take up any product of your choice and try to sell it to one of the panelists. Any product of your choice. I'm not giving any product by myself, so you can take it off.
All right.
You can take 30 seconds or 40 seconds, think, and then
Okay.
you come up with a way to convince one of us.
All right. So I'm allowed to think about any features in specific to the product, right?
Completely your
Yeah.
choice.
All right. Okay.
Also address the person to whom you are going to pitch it, whether to Rajesh sir or to Jatin sir or to...
Okay. Okay, I'll try to pitch to Jatin sir then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm relieved.
Well, good evening, sir. Yeah.
Good evening.
As I can see, you're using a pair of Bluetooth headphones right now. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So why is it in particular that you've chosen a set of Bluetooth headphones? Wouldn't you consider that earphones would be a little more convenient in the sense?
I didn't choose it. This is a gift.
Okay. All right. So since
Standard
the
competition.
nature of your job, the nature of your job speaks that makes you have to use headphones a lot, and that requires you to stay for long hours in meetings wearing these headphones, communicating with people.
That's
And
correct.
do you listen to any music, sir?
I do, but on my not using my headphones on my mobile phone.
So would it be through a speaker that you listen to music?
Yeah, just on my phone. I'm not a very avid music listener. Once in a
Okay.
while I listen to music, but on the phone itself from the speaker.
So would you ever consider switching to using a pair of Bluetooth earphones
No, I
rather
find
than
them.
using headsets?
I find these very comfortable. Earphones kind of slip out of my ears. I don't like them. They're very uncomfortable.
That's an understandable complaint. But if I presently have a product over here,
Mhm.
our set of Bluetooth earphones, and these earphones are definitely state of the art, sir. They have the best music quality, which you would definitely enjoy a limited hours of music listening, which, as you've said, rather than on a phone speaker, you can listen to it on your earphones with a lot better quality.
Mhm.
All of the audio, it's the best quality you'll find in the industry right now.
Okay.
And since you have to use your headphones for a long time in these meetings, wearing them over your head would definitely, while you do seem to have a sense of comfort with it right now, it can definitely be better. It can always be better.
Okay.
So wearing these
How
set of
are
Bluetooth
they
earphones,
better? How are they better? I find them quite comfortable, the headphones. How are these earphones better? I told you, right? My earphones slip
yes,
out
sir.
of my ears. I find them uncomfortable.
So that would usually just mean that the earphones that you bought, you haven't found the right pairs that are catered to your ears. You haven't found the pairs that sit well in your ear. The
Okay.
earphones that I would
We
be
are running
willing
out
to.
of time. So let us.
Okay.
Yeah. I have two more
Sure,
questions.
sir.
Can you explain a bit about the 4 P's of marketing?
Sure, sir.
And how is it
When it
connected
comes
with 4 C's of marketing? I'd like
4
a
C's, sir.
combination of both. 4 P's, how is it connected with 4 C's of marketing?
4 C's. Okay.
Yes.
As for the 4 P's of marketing, sir, this refers to the product, the price, the place, and the promotion.
What is the place referred to?
The place refers to the location in which we're going to be selling the product, or the location that the marketing is being set in.
Okay. Fine.
So the product refers to. Should I continue, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the product refers to be.
If I'm selling the market in Bombay, the location would be Bombay.
Yeah, and it also includes the areas where you'll be located. Place refers to. I'm sorry, sir. 1 second. It would also refer to the areas where you would be procuring your materials, Because marketing is a holistic process. It doesn't just include the promotion of products.
Oh, so if I'm selling in Bombay but procuring my materials from the Gulf is also included in the place?
So we'd have to consider the, I'm sorry, one. I think I've lost my train of
Okay,
thought.
not
I'm
a
sorry
problem.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what is the favorite cuisine you are used to cook?
So when I'm cooking, I usually like to cook Pan-Asian food. Pan-Asian food is definitely one of my favorite cuisines. I enjoy Chinese food, whether it be Chinese, Japanese, Korean. All these things are I just enjoy the way they use flavors, the way they harmonize sweet and spicy together. That's definitely my favorite part about cuisine in Pan-Asian cuisine.
So I'm done, sir. I'm done.
Okay. Just one final question. I can't resist. It's food. I have to chime in. Is Manchurian a Chinese dish, Mohit?
So I believe Manchurian is an Indo-Chinese dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. That was my last question.
Yeah.
All right. Great. You can relax, Mohit, now.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Yes.
I think listen, I mean, before we get into the details of the feedback, and I'll let Rajesh and Vasan start. I think overall, I liked your interview, especially the sales pitch, Mohit. To do that in this kind of pressure, I think you did a very good job. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Till the sales pitch came, I was like, okay, this interview is going well. But the sales pitch, particularly for me, stood out. I think you were very confident, and given the pressure that you were in and the time that you were given, I thought you did a very good job on the sales pitch. So for me, that was the highlight of the interview. Of course, there are areas of development. I'll come down to it, but I just wanted to start with the highlight. Okay. Yeah.
Well done, but glad you're here. And Chetan pointed out kudos on courage. Bravery points
you,
are
sir.
always there. And, it's a big deal to come on YouTube and be interviewed. So many congratulations on that. On a bunch of the answers, there's one theme that I wanted to work on. A lot of times your answers are not carrying detail. And so
Okay.
you're starting off with broad phrases and ending with broad phrases. And what do I mean
Okay.
by that? I said, look, why are your grades not good? I said, it's completely on me. I think I'm responsible. Then he said, it's a point of regret. I've not covered myself in glory. I think I could have done better. Having said that, there are mitigating circumstances. There were occasions that were there, that were present, that would offset and explain why it didn't happen. There were quite a few other things. Those were reasons. Stuff like this. And you've spread a lot. I was responsible. There were mitigating factors. Honestly, your panel won't wait this long for you to say, look, why and what are the mitigating factors? And till the end, you didn't say what exactly were the mitigating factors were.
I didn't
And
get
when
to
you
it.
said, look, when you said, I participated in quite a few contests. I've done well in some. I've done quite a few internships. Internships everybody has done. And contests, quite a few. Won a few of them. We need numbers, we need names. Participated in this, participated in that. I'm also in part of 2 clubs in quite senior positions in 2 clubs. What clubs? What is a senior position? There's a lot of pros without details. And so a lot of times there is just you're describing your answer, then answering the question. And so go into the content of your answer slightly quicker. And in your
Okay, sir.
academic thing, actually your CAT percentile point as a redeeming point of reference was good. You could have gone to it slightly sooner. But said, look, I
Okay.
got freedom. I came to Kakinada. I was here. Lost my head. It's a competitive place. I didn't realize how competitive it would be. The grade curve was pretty tricky, and I enjoyed myself. I freaked out. I stretched myself too thin, was part of too many activities, and my grade suffered at the end of it. I am part of the consulting club and the investment banking club. I'm doing rather well in them. I've won few competitions in marketing, which I'm rather proud of. I won the Tata competition and the one Birla competition. Where one we won, where we had to manage to sell a product within a short span of 1 hour 20 minutes. That was really exciting. My academics do not reflect. I don't think my academics reflect how capable I can be. In fact, my CAT percentile is rather good. I got 99.38. I'm proud of that. I think when I put my head down and prepare, I can deliver. I'm glad that I have one point that can convey to the world that I'm capable. I'm hoping that my CGPA in my in Kakinada is the anomaly, and I have another chance to prove that that is the anomaly and my academic career that is wrong. So your point about Mia Kalpa, look, I got it wrong, was fine, but how did you get it wrong? What did you do? How were you carried away? Were you with the wrong people? Were you taking the course too lightly? Were you abusing your freedom? Were you unwell? Did you just not get the hang of a couple of topics? Did you fight with your teachers? What went wrong? Right? So, and I was part of several activities. What activities? Do they justify you being 30th out of 40 in a batch then? If you're 30th out of 40 in a batch in Kakinada, I can't believe you can survive here in wherever this place is that interviewing you. That's an obvious question. You're going to be ready for that, be prepared for it. Your answer there was it's not an easy, not a comfortable question to answer. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes to say, hey, I got it wrong. But there is you're a confident young guy, and they're going to come back to you with one of these two. What is your, why are your grades not great, and why do you want to do an MBA now? Right? And you're saying, why do you want to do an MBA now? You seem to have camped on. At the moment, I feel like I can learn. Doesn't work for me. Because the obvious question is, okay, so you're 22, it works. At 24, it won't work. Are you afraid you lose your, and the immediate comeback was, I don't think I lose, no, anybody ever stops learning. Yeah, right. But you just said at the moment you felt like learning and you want continuity. So you can be very honest. You can start to be very honest. This is a great idea to do for a couple of years. I've got a pretty decent CAT score, and I've got a bunch of shortlist. And if I get an admit, I think I'll figure out a way to offset the fact that I don't have experience, throw a lot of energy, enthusiasm into every course that I have, kind of override my my academic performance in my BBA, do really well academically. I'm chomping at the pitch to prove myself. It perhaps is better if I can come back in 2 years' time, but the idea that there's no guarantee of that, and I'm sitting here having this discussion with you because I've got a good CAT percentile and I'm sitting here, that makes me want to do it now. And there's every chance that if I don't get a good B school, I'll continue with my integrated courses. I have to.
Yeah.
In which case, my MBA becomes 1-2 steps further away, and I really want to do an MBA from good college. So, because of those things, that's fine. You're trying to say this is the best time for me to do an MBA. You're better off saying, hey, it's not the best time, but hey, I got it now. I have a good CAT percentile. I'm sitting here for an interview. I'm not going to throw it away and gamble away one more time 2 years from now. Doesn't work. Not the right risk decision to take. Risk reward basis. It's not the right decision to take. Again, a tricky question, but you'll have to reframe your answer. Your answer that I want to continue in my learning. Right at the moment, I feel like I can learn, especially when your academics are low. At the moment, it's precisely the moment where you should not be studying anything to be BBA or MBA. The record is saying, look, you need a break. Or your entire CV suggests that you're better off in a work environment than a college environment. And probably that you take a break for 2 years is going to work wonders for you. So your profile, your background, your academic record, your internships, all of them are screening that out. And then you double down and say, I've been learning, I think I should continue to learn. That becomes like it doesn't fit in the rest of it. The most honest answer is the fact that, look, if I throw this away, I'm leaving a big, wonderful CAT score on the table. I'm confident I can prepare again and do, but I've got 99.38. There is a chance that I don't get that in these calls a year from now, 2 years from now. I don't think that's given where I'm here, I want to be doing it. That's fine. That's quite possibly your most reasonable thought processes. Sometimes your answers don't need to be textbook. They need to be the truth, but packaged well. And so the truth is probably this, so hang on to that. Your answers need to have more detail and less broad prose. And on selling the product, that thing, I think you started with a question. Sometimes if somebody says, you have headphones, are there Bluetooth headphones? I'll be like, look, I don't want to hear this. What do you have to say? Have you ever had a conversation with a telecaller when they start with a question? I've never had a conversation that started with a question where I haven't stamped the phone down. If somebody says, I see that you're wearing phones, are these Bluetooth headphones? So what's it to you by ham? Sometimes when you start with a question, it's a high risk strategy. You're baiting them to answer.
Okay.
and the default response could be no. So the textbook sales response, sales pitches, hey, I'm here to sell you wonderful pair of phones, wonderful pair of headsets. I would love for you to hear me out. I see that you're wearing something, and I can sense that it is Bluetooth. But I think these ones are good because they have this. Again, on the thing you said, they're the state of the art. They're the best in the market. They're fantastic. Details. Yeah, details. I think they have a decibel filter. I think they'll cut off everything that you do. I think they have this tech or that thing. So you said state of the art, wonderful, better than anything in the market. All pros, no details. And if you're selling a product, you talk about either how it makes the person feel or what features it carries. And if you start with a question, you're running the huge risk of, to put it mildly, pissing off the potential customer. What phones are you wearing? Like, no, I'm not telling you that. Sorry, you speak to somebody else. So starting with an introduction and straight to the point idea of what you've got to say, and then slipping into conversation mode helps. But starting with a question sometimes can be a turn on. So all of you are trying to sell, have a good pitch. Your sales pitch should be, hey, I'm Mohit, I work here. Or, hey, I'm Mohit, I'm looking to sell a pair of beautiful headsets to you. I see you're buying one. Can I bother you for just 2 minutes to give you an outline of this? This is a fantastic product. This at a great price. And I think it could be great for you. Just 1 minute, can I have a chat? Fine. Go in and have a 25-second bit ready. Intro, product, outline, big USP, price. And then you say, hey, can I interest you in some of the things that it has? But have that prepared for a set of products so that you know what the script is. And,
Yes, sir.
and product, price, place, promotion. Place is not location. Do your reading. You're a fresher and BBA.
Yeah.
They will ask you a million. And you said you love marketing. They will ask you on marketing. So you can be prepared for that. Over to you, sir. Sorry, I think too long, but over to you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I mean, sir almost covered everything. So the feedback from my side would be on very specific things, especially about the selling of a product. So whatever sir told is perfect, spot on. You can actually start with the product description and then you can try to move on to the conversation mode. Or if you actually want to go on with the questioning mode, that is also fine. But always try to create a needs analysis for that. That is more important. You need to know what the person wants and then start pitching your product. That is how you need to go for it. Okay. For example, if you have taken the case of the headphone, you should have actually came to me and sold it because Rajesh sir also has a Bluetooth headset. Jatin sir is also having it. You are also using. I am the only one without that. So that itself shows that I am the only one who's in need of that particular product. So that is how you have. I mean, that is the reason also I gave a question. It was very open-ended. You can pick up any person, sell a product of your choice. So I wasn't telling you to sell a pen or sell a water bottle or something like that. So whenever you are going to talk about marketing, always have this kind of pitch in your mind. So what is it your product you are going to take up, or you practice with some 4 or 5 products, that how is that you are going to pitch your product and how is that you are going to create a need for that product to that particular person. Because when a panelist is going to ask you to sell a product to him, 100% be guaranteed that they will not be in the mindset to buy that. So it is up to you to create that particular need. So that is what is going to differentiate you from the rest of the people. So always make this point that needs analysis is most important. So how you are going to probe the questioning line, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, get it done. So that means those 2-3 questions has to be super powerful.
Understood, sir.
All of you were saying you're fascinated by, we're fascinated by marketing. Have a 20-second broad pitch ready if you're asked to sell something. It's a pen, it's a laptop, it's a seat, it's to sell yourself to the school. Any of those. Have a 20-second pitch nicely ready. You can't be surprised by this question. Anyone who says they're interested in marketing, you simply can't be surprised by the idea of saying, hey, try to sell something to me. That's like marketing 101. You should be ready and kind of prepared for that. So keep that in mind. I think broadly your presence, your comfort, your smile, your body language, they're all big pluses. I think you start the interview off on a nice, easy conversation mode, which is lovely. It's very easy to connect with you, and just another 10 minutes, will probably ask you to tell us a joke, and which is very good. So these are massive strengths, right? Which is why all the more reason that I want you to work on details. because
Yes.
I think you land in and make a massive impression. You shouldn't come out as saying, you shouldn't come out with a panel thinking, "Banda kafi smooth tha, lekin kuch bola hi nahi." And so
Yeah.
you have to amp up your detail in answers about, hey, what do you want to do? What are the different things that you're interested in? How do you sell something? What are the 4 pieces of marketing? What is accounts? What is finance? The whole shebang. You're saying like volleyball. I want to get into volleyball. I would have asked you what are the height of the volleyball net? Or what are the scoring system?
2.43 meters, sir. Yeah.
Nice. Lovely.
Yeah.
So amp up your detail in your territory. Be ready for it. And these 2 questions are going to follow you. Hey, tell us about your acads and why do you want to do an MBA now? You're a fresher, so that's going to come. Your 10th and 12th are good, but your UG lets you down, so that's going to come. So there's like a 40% chance that you'll have one of these 2. It might not be both like this, but the 40% chance there's one of these 2. The pain point is that both of these are uncomfortable questions. But the advantage is question paper leak ho gaya. Ye aane wala hai.
Yeah.
So be well prepared.
Yes, sir.
Lovely.
right.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just going to take 2 minutes to wrap it up.
Sorry.
So Mohith, on the positive front, I just want to highlight the positives. I think your confidence is great. Okay, your communication skills are spot on, right? I personally feel that the sales question, given the pressure that you were in and the time that you were given, I thought you did a very good job as your client or as a potential client. I was happy with the sales pitch. Right. So definitely, I mean, work on the feedback that's been given to you and make it more structured and methodical. I think that's very important. But I think you did well, in my opinion. So I think all of that is great. Your CAT percentile is very good, right? So, definitely that academics question is bound to come your way. So as Rajesh said, definitely bring that CAT percentile up to highlight, that you've had a major improvement. And whenever I wasn't paying attention in the beginning when Rajesh asked you that academics question, but I don't know if you started by accepting your mistake. I think that's very important, right? Whenever, and this is for, okay, awesome. So this is for everyone who's listening. Whenever they point out a mistake or an area of development or a problem in your profile, right? The first step is to acknowledge your mistake and then give external reasons. Right. So I think you did that, and that's perfect. Right. But definitely, Mohith, I'm sure you've prepared your answer for that. But be like, that question is going to come your way. Okay. It's a very, very common question. That's the first thing that strikes a panel when they look at your profile. Right. So definitely prepare for that question.
Yeah.
Okay. And the work experience bit, why don't you go and do work experience? I think first acknowledge that, there is value in that, of getting work experience and coming back and doing an MBA. But that said, you personally prefer to maintain your academic momentum and continue to do an MBA. So acknowledge the bit and then be very convincing about your choice.
Okay.
Okay. And one last thing, in your tell me something about yourself, include achievements. Okay.
Include the achievements already.
Achievements, yeah. So if you're very sure about your internships that you've done, that came in later, I would suggest include those internships in your tell me something about yourself, along with some achievements.
Okay.
And you can cut down on your hobbies. I think there are about 4 hobbies. 2 hobbies are enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much, Mohith. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
All the best.
Great. All the best.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. So we're going to get Harsh here. Harsh, whenever you're ready, can you please switch on your video? Okay, awesome. You can hear us?
Yes, sir. Hi. Good evening.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Hi. Good evening.
Yes, your voice is clear. Fantastic. So Harsh, we'll get started with your mock. You know the structure, right? We'll take about 30 minutes for the entire process. Okay. All right. Rajesh or Vasant, anybody who wants to start?
I have to. I love the fact that you were part of the army, post experience, and you exited after 18 months.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
So, sir, I had an injury during one of the operational exercises. So, I had multiple ligament tears in my left knee and my left shoulder. I had to be operated for both of them. So, I'm currently being operated. I have my operation for my knee, but not for the shoulder as well. So, I got boarded out based on medical grounds because of it.
Okay. Must have been really hard. It seems like it has been a lifelong thing for you to be part of the.
Yes.
Army, right?
Yeah, I would have been a 3rd generation officer.
That's nice. So So that the fascination comes from family, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did you serve? At what point? Just curiosity. Where did you serve? And
Sorry?
where did you serve? Which part of the?
Mhm.
I mean, when
I was
unless
in
it's
Dehradun.
classified information.
No, I was in Dehradun, sir, when I had my injury. But before that, with my father, I moved around the country, say from the Rajasthan's Mahajan firing range to the forests of Assam. I moved over there.
Okay. Why MBA now?
Yeah. So, sir, there are three reasons for me going for an MBA now. The first is that during my internships with Saint Gobain and ID Solutions, it was the first time I had a penchant for, say, an MBA and the business world in itself. So I worked on optimizing the dearing process in Saint Gobain and carrying out the market research on competitors and studying about a new market in itself during my internship with IDG10. So all of these gave me with a newfound view for the business world. So that is the first reason. The second is that it aligns with my long-term goal of starting my own venture in the agricultural sector because an MBA gives me with the opportunity to study on various case studies, analyze actual business problems, and all of these are necessary when you start out on your own venture. I've also looked at various operating models. I plan on starting from a B2B, then on to a B2C, and even later on a subscription based model for the venture that I have in mind.
What
The
is
third,
the venture going to focus on?
you can say it is typically based on growing exotic fruits or vegetables in a protected cultivation sort of thing, and then selling them initially to wholesalers, then slowly building up your customer base using a B2C model. And I also plan to allot
What
small people.
fruits do you have in mind?
Sorry.
What fruits or vegetables do you have in mind?
Yeah. So I initially plan to start with cucumbers because they are easy to grow. Then, and along with it, dragon fruits because they require less water, and the region where I have a piece of land, it is suitable to grow
Does India
dragon.
have a dragon fruit market?
Sorry?
Does India have a natural dragon fruit market?
Yes. If there's a farmer near Hyderabad, if you know, he's growing
Okay.
dragon fruits in around 40 acres of land.
And
So
people are consuming, there's a demand for it?
Yes, there's a demand for it.
Achha, is dragon fruit good? Is it nutritious and all that?
Yes, it is very nutritious. And even when, these people suffer from dengue, that is when
Okay.
doctors recommend having dragon fruit a lot.
Dragon fruit is a thing that we find in Southeast Asia, which has a wildly different and pungent odor, right? The smell.
No, sir, no. You must be
No?
confusing it with something else. No, it is a very sweet fruit.
What is
Okay.
that? I'm out of curiosity. What is that? Since you seem to know a lot about exotic fruits, what is that fruit that Rajesh is referring to? Do you know?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
Oh,
I think
I
it's
stumped the guy who's interested in fruit making with
it's probably durian. I think Rajesh, you're referring to durian. Durian or
possible. I will
it's
find
the
this out.
pungent
I will
one. The
find this
pungent
out.
one.
Pungent one, yeah.
It's also banned in durian is also banned in Singapore subways.
Public transport, yeah, and then
It's
all
that
kinds of
bad.
public
It's
transport.
that bad.
It's
Yeah.
that bad.
Anyway, coming back to
Anyway.
exotic fruits. Coming back to exotic fruits. Dragon fruit. So I'm from Hyderabad. So there's this farmer who's growing dragon fruit on a 40-acre land. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
He has a whole nursery set up and he's giving out plant saplings now. He has set
Okay.
up a whole business model around it.
What is the target customer segment for dragon fruit? What do you think is the target customer segment? Because I know personally I don't consume dragon fruit, and there's a specific reason for that. But I want to hear from you. What is the target customer segment?
The primary customers would be in the tier 1 city, and if say a farmer is producing them in a good enough quantity, they even export it outside.
Right. So I'm in a tier 1 city.
Yes.
But within a tier 1 city, what is like refine it further for me? Because I know I'm not a part of that target segment for sure. What is the exact target segment for an exotic fruit like dragon fruit?
I'd say it depends on the choice also. People who are interested, say, in health and fitness, a lot of people go for that. People who are generally, say, have lower immunity, they go for it. Yeah.
Do you know the current price of a dragon fruit in the market?
Yes. So there are two methods how it is being sold. It either goes for around 230, 250, or sometimes even 300 a piece. Or if you buy it by kilo, it goes around 200, 220 by a kilo.
So that explains why I'm not in the target segment. That's what I was looking for. But anyway, thank you.
Oh, it's ridiculously expensive, is it?
It's
yes,
300 rupees a piece.
300 rupees.
How I've not even seen this.
It's like
is it
it's
apple
like
size or watermelon?
Potato size of a potato, I think.
Bigger than a potato. It can even grow bigger than a potato.
Okay.
But it's ridiculously expensive. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it gives you a good
Again.
profit margin.
So he's
Right.
speaking from the farmer's perspective, not the
Fair enough.
consumer's
Fair enough.
perspective.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, Harsh, you are a mechanical engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me why all the tires are only black in color, not in any other fancy colors?
No, sir, I'm not aware of it, but I'll surely look it up.
Okay. So I have another question as well. So let us say I'm giving you 1 liter of petrol, 1 liter of diesel exactly in the identical vessel. You cannot smell it because I've mixed with some chemical and both colors will also be looking alike. How will you identify which is petrol and which is diesel after 1 hour?
Do I have the permission? I can either burn them using compression because diesel engines generally require higher
No,
compression
you will
ratios.
not have a vehicle. You will not have a
Okay.
vehicle.
He's just giving you 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I burn them off, diesel generally produces more soot than petroleum, so I can identify them by that.
Come again, come again.
Diesel, when burned, produces more soot carbon content rather than petroleum.
No, I've again combined with some chemical, right? So.
Mm-hmm. No, sir. And then
Okay.
I'm
One
not
more
aware.
question.
Yes.
Why are the tires of tractors big at the back side and small at the front side?
Because more of the weight, if you see, of a tractor, it is the weight distribution of a tractor is such that majority of its weight sits forward. And
So
to
what does it has to do with the weight? There is a specific term for that, if I'm not wrong.
center of gravity,
Torque.
okay.
So you work with Deloitte. So is it LLP or LLC?
Sorry, sir.
Deloitte, is it LLP or LLC?
Currently, I'm not aware, sir, because I worked with Deloitte only for a small period of time, and most of it had gone for my medicals and examination, SSB, and everything with the army.
Okay, fine. Okay, so some of you can carry on. I'll come up.
Yeah. So Harsh, you served in the army for 18 months, right? Which is clearly a very noble profession, and that was your kind of lifetime goal as well. Unfortunately,
Yes, sir.
it didn't work out. I understand the situation. It's very unfortunate, but MBA seems to be like a second choice. Harsh, it seems like you're taking up an MBA because now that's probably the path that you have in front of you. Doesn't seem very intentional to me. Is that
It's not like
correct?
that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's not like that, sir. An MBA was always in the pipeline.
Okay.
Even once I had gotten out of the army, I was going to go for it. But it's just now that the timeline or the phase had shifted. It is now coming before. It was always there in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of calls, you have SP Jain and I'm Amritsar. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, what are your what attracts you to IIM Amritsar?
Given mm, it gives me with an opportunity to actually go learn over there because I see there are the profession that I want to get into, not the profession, the venture I get into. So I am a Amritsar is actually in a place which is very close to the farmers. I can actually go over there, connect with them, look at the processes they're doing, and because the state in as itself, it is very, I'd say, fruitful for the farmers over there who are producing. It
Okay.
gives me that opportunity very well.
Okay. All right. Sorry, one more question and then I'll hand it over to Rajesh. So Punjab, right? Since we're discussing Punjab, the farmers' protests are kind of like, I mean, of course, there was a long protest during COVID
Yes,
times, and it kind of seems to be reviving.
yes,
What is the current status of the farmers' protest, especially with respect to farmers in Punjab?
So their main demand is that the MSP that is there, they want it to be a legal right that they can have because currently it is more of a guideline. And they want the MSP calculations to be done based on the Swaminathan report and the cost calculation to be based on C2 levels. It is currently not based on that. So the C2 calculation is that it should include the basic operating cost, that is the cost of the seeds, manufacturers, pesticides, and all this. Next, it should also include the family labor because when a farmer actually goes into farming, his whole family is involved into that. The second point is that it should also include that, and the last is that it should also include the capital cost that a farmer incurs because if he has to go out to do farming, he requires a tractor. So and most of them don't own their own land, so they have to lease it out. So it should also constitute of the cost that the farmers bears for this.
Okay, okay, fair enough. I'm done with my questions. Rajesh?
Military threat for India, where is it more likely to come?
More as in you're asking for the location?
What are you worried about? Which country are you worried about?
Currently, sir, I'd say China is more of a bigger competitor, because you see, what I feel is whenever Pakistan has been in a position of economic stability, it attacks them, or it is more of a greater threat then. But currently, I don't see it as much of a bigger threat, but I'd say China is.
Do we
Because
have
there are,
enough military capability to even to have a go at to defend ourselves against China?
I'd say, if you look at the technological advancements in the military side, I'd say we do lag a bit behind, but on the manpower front, not a chance.
Spoken like a true army guy. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm pretty much done. Okay, go to you.
Okay, I have this question since you brought up China, and I mean there are a lot of memes or people start talking that in Arunachal Pradesh almost one village has been captured by China captured by China. Is it true, or is it just like that, just to defame the government? People are spreading some kind of rumors.
So the actual problem over there is that the borders are not significant, or I'd say they are not earmarked properly. Because at the time when the borders, the Radcliffe line and McMahon line was being drawn, so it was done on a, I'd say, very if you go in the army, there's a thing called indication of landmark. So you can say in a major perspective that it was based on landmark, not a very fixed line like how we have a fixed border with Pakistan in the western side. It is not like that over there. So because of that, there are all these claims that this village belongs to China, this village is a part of the Indian territory or not. So it is because of this thing that all these allegations and claims come up from time to time.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. I think, yeah, Harsh, we'll end the interview here. Thank you for volunteering. You can relax. And now we'll go through your feedback.
Yeah.
Okay. Any one of you wants to start?
Again, I thought the interview went rather well. I think your some chunk of your interview is going to be about the army. I think you kind of know that. I think so. You're going to come up with probably one of the most distinct profiles. And the fact that you had to discontinue is also something that's going to ask kind of invite questions. I want to say, hey, why did you have to discontinue? Very clear from your profile that you wanted, from your answer, that you wanted to do this. And then you're not continuing with it. And then you're going towards an MBA. So I think you're reasonably well prepared for that set of questions. I would have wanted to change one answer. Jatin said, look, so you wanted to be an army guy through your life. And you were there, and it looks like MBA is like a second chance. I would have loved it if you had said definitely second chance, no doubt about it. I had my heart set on being in the army, and I got into the army, the third generation military person. I was broken when I couldn't continue with it. And now I'm out of the army because I cannot serve in the army. So if you asked me 2 years ago, would I find myself in an MBA interview this soon? Chance. So definitely like that. But having said that, I had my idea to do the short service thing and then spend some time in the army and then come back to business. So now the culture of serving in the army or Navy or Air Force for a 10-year, 15-year duration and then get back to the civilian side of the economy, that is very common, much more common than it used to be. There are fewer 40-year army veterans and more 15 years in and outside. Okay? I would have seen myself in that role. So I would have looked at a non-army career after a 15-year stint. Here I am after a 2-year stint. Not part of the plan, but again, so like this. So your whole answer says you love everything is about the army. And then you said, no, sir, I wanted to be in MBA. No, definitely second chance. That makes sense. So I think that's the honest answer, and I think that have come through. And I'm like, yeah, good, yeah. MBA kyun karna? You should have been in the army because you're not able to do that. You're coming here. That's all right. It's all right. Sometimes we feel compelled to say this is what I wanted to do. That's not what you wanted to do. That's definitely not what you wanted to do. Even if you want to do that, you want to do that after 10 years. Speak that, say that.
Yeah.
The more comfort, the more you talk about army and your military career and how you saw that, what are the challenges that were there and how you felt that. The more the interviews in your comfort.
Sure.
And everybody has the interviewers all they make joke of Deloitte and Goldman Sachs and KPMG and Infosys and Accenture Consulting, Accenture Mega Consulting. All of that can happen. But army is different. Right? So everybody has a fascination for a certain respect for army. So the more the conversation is around that, the better it is. So if he's saying, look, so it looks like second choice, should be like 100% yes. And then speak on from there. So it is 100% yes in your case. You wouldn't have been here, barring the fact that you carried a substantial injury. So state that. And then say, hey, given that I'm here, I'll make a good question.
Yeah, just I'm going to add that's a very interesting approach, and that's a very it's a very Rajesh style answer to the question. So I love it. I think you should go all out and do this, and I completely agree. It's so true in your situation. You'll come across as very authentic as well, right? And you've been very honest about it. I've met you. By the way, I've met him in a previous group interview for SPGen. So there also he was very authentic about it. I completely agree with that. I think I'll just add one more statement to this, Harsh. I would say 100%, sir. Army is my first choice. But MBA is a very strong second choice, right? Or I mean, I agree that, had the injury not happened, I would have stayed in the army. But, now given this situation, the choices in front of me, MBA is definitely my first choice, given the choices that I have, right? So I would stress on that, but I would also take that opportunity to highlight your interest for an MBA program, right? And you have good specifics. The why MBA also, right, Harsh? You seem to have significantly improved on it from the last time we met. Like you brought in a lot of specifics. You said your long-term goal is entrepreneurship. You have a very specific kind of company that you're interested in. You have a bit of you were able to support it with some details as well. So you have, and you spoke about your internships and what sparked your interest. So you have those specifics. So, give emphasis on that bit as well. After saying that army is your first choice. Right. Yeah. But well done. I think definitely taken into account that feedback. Yeah. Sorry, Vasant, go ahead. I'll go after you.
So two things that from my side, I asked about your organization. Please know a bit about Deloitte, because that is very much needed. I saw you have some 4 months of experience. We should know what kind of company is it, because my next question would have been, had you told LLP, I would have asked what is the difference between LLP and LLC or vice versa. So however it goes on. And also Deloitte has a kind of good history because their origin is different. Now their headquarters is different. So it's a kind of a very interesting organization to work. So you can expect questions from that as well. Try to know the vision and mission statement. I mean, had you answered that question, I would have kind of got into the next level. But since you told you are very new, so I stopped it there. So try to know the vision and mission of Deloitte also. And last but not the least, the technical part, even people with 4 or 5 years of experience will usually get it, Harsh. So please try to brush up on the basics of mechanical engineering. I asked you the very, very elementary questions only. So it is not something out of the concept or something like that. So try to brush up only the basics. I'm not asking you to go through everything in depth and all. Just go through the basics. You should be able to easily manage it because your background is like that. Try to drive the interview only through your strengths, like what is the business that you want to go through or the army front. So these kind of questions will definitely take a backseat or something they might not even ask you. So it's up to you to drive that kind of interview. That's all. That's all from my side.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Again, I agree with everything. Mechanical engineering, have you been brushing up, Harsh? Have you been taking out some time to brush up on the basics?
I've started with it. Yes.
Okay. So keep doing that. What I found in the mechanical engineering section with Vasant, you were giving up too soon, Harsh. It was like, I don't know. It's like you weren't even taking time to think about it, right? So if you have been sort of preparing for some time, keep preparing and then maybe ask for some time. Don't give up so soon, because this is for everyone listening. The interviewers are also testing your ability to kind of, stick to your point or your ability to put in efforts and answer the question. If you give up too soon, that sends out a wrong signal to the panel. They might judge you as a person who just gives up too soon on things, and they don't like that, right? They want you to put in that effort. So take some time, think about it, and then you can either give a partial answer or you can say that, sir, I'm sorry, I'm not able to recollect it at this time. I'll make sure to read up about it after the interview. Something like that, right? But try answering those questions.
Yes, especially you're right, Jatin. In fact, especially the first question, within 2 seconds, you kind of gave it up. So that was too fast to give it up like that.
And that question, you could have thought about it logically also, right? It was a tire question, right? Why are they always black or something like that, right? You could have thought about it, right? And you probably could have come up with a partial answer or at least a logical answer, right? So don't hesitate to ask for time, right? And the reason why I asked you that I am Amritsar questions is basically broadly the audience. I mean, you folks will have to research the B school that you're going to, right? So then your answer was nice. It was kind of customized to Amritsar, which is what we want. Everybody otherwise says excellent peer group, excellent faculty, excellent curriculum, but those are very generic answers. You have to give aspects specific to that particular B school. So definitely research on that metaphor. And tier 2, tier 3 schools will obviously ask you this question, and tier 1 school is not going to ask you this question. They already know. Like SPJ knows why you're there, right? But an IIM Amritsar probably needs that answer from you as to why you're interested in Amritsar. Okay, awesome. But good job, Harsh. Good job. Well in the first interview, but marked improvement in this one. So well done. All the best.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Harsh. Let's get Arunima on board. Arunima, if you're around. Yeah, she's here. Okay. By the way, folks on YouTube, I'm so sorry. I was supposed to give you their profiles before beginning, but I forgot to do that. We'll include that in the description or notes so that you have that as reference. I'm going to just quickly tell you about Arunima's profile to the folks on YouTube, and then we'll get started. So Arunima has done a BCom in financial markets. She has around 2 years of experience as a business analyst. And in terms of calls, she has SIBM Pune, SCMHRD, BA, NMIMS, IMT Ghaziabad, IMI Delhi, to name a few. Okay, awesome. Hi, Arunima. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, Arunima, tell us something about yourself.
So good evening, everybody. My name is Arunima Ghosh. I'm from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh. I have done my schooling from Delhi Public School, Bhilai. Post that, I have done my graduation from Mithabai College, Mumbai, where I've pursued bachelor's in financial markets. In the last year of college, I was actually introduced to a subject called research methodology, which actually sparked my interest in research, which led to my job in management consulting post-graduation. So I primarily worked in 2 sectors in management consulting, that is healthcare sector and the financial investors group. Some of my key projects included market entry projects, go-to-market strategy, and I've done a couple of consumer research / trends project with global BPC brands as well. Out of office, I am a trained classical dancer and a painter, and I do a little bit of volunteering work as well. I've previously worked with a platform called Atypical Advantage, which is like a LinkedIn, but for differently abled people. And I also enjoy reading psychology articles in my free time.
So you work with which company called One Lattice, right?
Yes. So it's like a subset company of Praxis Global Alliance, if you've heard.
Okay. So what do they do? What does One Lattice do?
It's like the research arm of Praxis Global Alliance. Yes.
And Praxis Global is a consulting company.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. So
sorry, I think there's an internet connectivity yes, I couldn't hear you, sir.
Okay, sorry. Praxis Global is a consulting company.
Correct.
Okay. You guys carry on. I just want to get some clarification.
All right, Arunima, tell me a little bit about the projects that you've done as a business analyst. Maybe the recent ones that you've done.
So one of the recent projects that I did was on an ice cream study. This was a tricky project. I was asked to join this project midway because the C-suite level client that we had was a little dissatisfied with the work that was being done. I was asked to step in, which is always tricky, getting into a project midway. You lack a little bit of context. A lot of work has already been done. So there's you need to understand the expectations, the change in expectations. So the scope and the problem statement was very clear. I had to handle the client and make sure he's happy with our output. Very simple, but quite daunting task. What he wanted to understand was this was an ice cream brand which was guilt free. So they wanted to understand if the consumers could differentiate between a fat-free, sugar-free ice cream versus full-fat sugar ice cream, right? So our basic procedures are do an in-depth interview, surveys, telephonic calls to get data. But the client felt the answers that we were getting lacked a little bit of nuance and a little bit of authenticity. So to tackle this problem, what we came up with was to do a blind taste test of 3 rounds. Right. So this would clarify his doubts if he felt the answers were not genuine. He could just have a front seat to the conversation and he would get it clarified then and there. Another thing, to get more nuanced, what we did was create a curated respondent pool of primarily 60% women, 40% men. Because as we know, women can differentiate textures and flavors much more better than their male counterparts. And because
I
of
didn't know
that,
that.
yes. So females can also differentiate a lot when it comes to colors as well. If you ask a guy a difference between,
I thought it was a problem that I had. Now I'm feeling glad. I have a big community to be part of. So all men are bad at this.
Yeah, it's a general problem. So we thought
Okay.
to get more nuanced answers, we'll keep it a little bit of female heavy when it comes to respondents, and that got him a very good answers. And the client was pretty happy that we went beyond what we were told, and we made that
Okay,
extra effort to.
okay, sorry to interrupt. So the problem
No problem.
statement was the client wanted to know if people can differentiate, if consumers can differentiate between guilt-free and non-guilt-free ice creams. Okay,
Yes.
I'm a consumer of guilt-free ice creams because I'm diabetic. So we should talk
Okay.
about this. I'm interested.
No. What is guilt-free? Sorry, Jatin. I want to know what is guilt-free.
I guess, yeah, you should tell us.
Yes, so guilt-free ice cream would be sugar-free ice cream, less fat compared to their counterparts. So
No,
that
Jatin is smiling.
so
Yeah,
it's a guilt.
because I eat sugar-free stuff, right? I can't eat sugar, so I go for that. All right. So Arunima, so that was the problem statement. What was the solution that you offered?
We did a blind taste test for that.
No, what was the outcome? Like, what was the deliverable? You did the blind test, but what came out of the blind test? What were the results?
People could not differentiate between.
People could not differentiate. Okay.
Correct, because it's most of the selling that happens in guilt-free versus indulgent ice cream is through their packaging. People will tell them that I'm a healthy person, I would like sugar-free ice cream, but they cannot differentiate between the products. Where when we are just bringing it in normal bowls, and ice cream, what we did was we took 5 brands, right?
Perfect. I got that. Sorry to interrupt you again. So they couldn't differentiate. What were your recommendations then to the client?
So our recommendation was because their product was amazing. If your product is amazing, you cannot differentiate, right? If your product would have been lacking, that would be the primary reason that people are able to differentiate. It's not that good. So our recommendation was the product is solid 50%. Your job is to escalate the marketing. You have to make sure every guilt-free person who loves dessert, but because of health issues maybe or of their lifestyle choices, they do not want to indulge a lot. So you market to them, you do your STP, segmentation, target, and everything, and you focus on that customer.
Sample size you guys tried out?
So primarily, before when the client was dissatisfied, we had like a sample size of 50 respondents. But when it came to taste test, it was held in the office, so we couldn't scale that up. We did 5 to 6 people per round, so 3 rounds of different people, and all from varied backgrounds. So we didn't want
What are the
anybody.
various tests you used for this? Different types of testing or the test that you used for this?
Could you clarify what type of testing? It's just we brought different brands.
Only the blind test was the only one you used, right?
Yes, because the problem statement was that only. They wanted to understand if they can differentiate on spot. The client wanted to see if they can actually do that or not.
Did you guys do any kind of clustering techniques for this or?
So no, we wanted our respondent pool to be as diverse as possible. So we made sure everybody had like a different background, different preferences. Somebody is an dessert enthusiast maybe, and somebody is not.
What are the various financial markets available, Arunima?
financial markets available. Financial markets
Different
as
financial
in,
markets.
so you talking about Sensex, Nifty, something like that?
No, I'm asking you.
Uh, okay, so financial markets, from what
Different
I'm trying.
types, basically different types.
Okay, financial, I could explain in terms of instruments if you would like. Financial
Go ahead.
Yeah, so financial instruments could be like mutual funds, normal FDs, stock market, and also government schemes like gold bonds, stuff like that. A lot of options out there.
Okay, so if I want to invest something, what would be your suggestion? Should it be in capital market or forex or commodities, something like that? So what would be your suggestion and why?
Okay, so first of all, before suggesting anything, we'll analyze your profile. What is your risk capacities? What are your long-term goals, short-term goals? So depending on that, we would ideally curate.
Okay, assume that I am a person who's a heavy risk taker, and I'm looking for a long-term investment.
Understood. So you're a heavy risk taker. Primarily, these are people who are of younger age, who are just stepping in their corporate work, and they want to earn a substantial amount by the time they retire. So what we would suggest them is to invest in small caps because they are risky, but comparatively still safer than investing in other instruments like commodities or stuff like that, where the barrier of entry is quite high. So we would suggest small caps, and then diversify the portfolio in maybe sectors per se to for example, during COVID times, the
I have
healthcare.
just two more questions from my
Got
side. The first question will be on, can you talk about Indian GDP? What is the figure? What is the percentage it has grown? What are the different sectors that is contributing to the Indian GDP, and how much percentage each sector is contributing? Simple.
Okay. So Indian GDP is currently at 3.5 trillion US dollars. It will grow. It's 3.5 trillion US dollars. It is growing towards 4 trillion. The growth rate of GDP is approximately 6.2 to 6.4 for the upcoming year. Next question was, what is the contribution? Contribution would be agriculture is around 15 to 18%. Then is the service sector, which is 53%. The majority, approx 53%, and the rest would be our manufacturing.
Okay, fine. So now the last question. I'd like you to tell me three salient key features of the budget 2025 and your opinions on that.
Got it. So from a business point of view, I would first like to talk about the small MSMEs first, and the Make in India concept that we have. So one of the key highlights of the budget was the toy manufacturing. We have done in our workplace a project similar to that, where we wanted to understand what is the export capacities of India, and one of the key sectors that was emerging was actually toy manufacturing, because around the world there is a trend towards more sustainable, healthy options for kids. Parents want less plastic.
Next point.
Okay, so second would be our income tax. Where income tax has been increased increased to 12 lakh, where it won't be taxed, and up to 12.75 lakhs after standard deduction, people will not have to pay taxes. So that was something that stood out to be. Okay. And the third point would be the Makhana board. Bihar has been substantially been rewarded with a lot of subsidies, a lot of airport construction, a lot of that. But Makhana board stood out to me because as a business owner, that is the next key area where people would like to invest. Health food is always growing, health sector is growing, so that is something that stood out to me.
Sorry, I have one follow-up question. You told about the income tax part, I understand, but how do you think the government will be able to overcome the loss in revenue that comes out of it? Because it's a very key factor, and we almost have 1 to 1.5 lakh crore that comes as a loss from the taxpayer. So how do you think the government will be able to overcome?
Okay. Maybe we would not I'm not sure about this. Might need a little bit more research. But instead of recovering it through tax, it could always recover through increased in GDP or economic activity. So reducing taxable income, that would mean there is more spending, more liquidity in the market, which would actually increase the economic activity, which would lead to obviously more taxes overall and economic growth. So that way we could substantially offset the losses that we are probably gonna get from the reduction of
I'm
taxes.
done.
Okay, just two super quick questions, rapid fire. What is a trillion, Arunima?
Trillion is with 12 zeros.
What is that? Can you?
No, he asked about the budget. What trillion you told? That is the question, sir. Is
No.
asking.
I meant what is a trillion in
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. You said
So-
that GDP is 3.4 trillion, right? So what is trillion? I'm trying to understand that.
Trillion would be the value.
12 zeros.
12 zeros. Yes.
Okay.
1 followed by 12 zeros.
Yes.
One followed by 12 zeros.
12 zeros. Yes.
Okay, all right. And the income, the taxable income part that you spoke about. So if let's say somebody is earning 14 lakhs, so how will they be taxed in the new regime?
So I think I need to do a little bit more research on this, but even those people can get more deductions, and there would be ATC
So
and other standard.
out of the 14 lakhs, 12 lakhs will not be taxable and they'll be taxed on 2 lakhs, is it?
No, I don't think that works like that. There would be branches. So the first a certain amount would be taxed 4%, next 4 lakh would be taxed certain percent, similar to that.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Arunima. Thank you. Rajesh, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, Arunima, quite a few of the colleges say they want girl candidates to come in, and they give them points for diversity. You think that's justified?
Okay. Well, there could be two schools of thought to that. People might say women want equality. Why should they should be given an upper hand when it comes to colleges and stuff like that? Totally agreed. But we also need to be cognizant of the fact that how the community was made, that was women that were held back, maybe from household responsibilities or comes to societal norms. So when we hold a certain section back, it is our responsibility as a community to give them a leverage when it comes to reintegrating them back into the society. That is what happens when we give similar thing could be said about the OBC or the caste thing that comes when we have certain conversations around this, right? So it's a similar idea. If you are held back, you should give them a little leg up to do better for themselves.
Which of these two schools do you follow? What is your opinion? You're saying it's
I
justified or not?
I follow the second school of thought.
Okay.
Over to you guys.
Yeah, I'm done.
Done, sir.
All right, great. All right, Arunima, thank you so much. Let's go through your feedback. Okay. Right. Anybody wants to start? Vasant or Rajesh?
I can jump in.
Yeah,
I thought
please,
actually
please,
went very well. You were very articulate. You jumped at the right point for the question. You didn't revert to a global answer. So a lot of questions were pointed, and you went and answered to the point. You didn't slip into MBA speak. It's very nice. So on your client, I think you have presented the points really well on your role with the ice cream maker. You had a clear understanding of what the problem statement was, what your effort was, and what the outcome was. That was very nice. The financial markets or financial advice part with risk appetite and also spot on. So I thought it was a rather engaging interview. It was fun to talk to you. You have an easy way of conversing, which is going to be a massive strength. You're not intimidated or bowed down or in any form. You're very happy to converse about what you've done, which is going to be a big strength. I was very, very glad when you went on to specific answers. Very like especially the couple of things about your about the job, about the test that you had done, and about the specific question that you looked to answer. You went in and said, "This is what we did. This was how the project was defined. This is the outcome." They could not distinguish. I think that they could not distinguish part you didn't say the first time around. I mean, draw it out of you. That's all right. That's all right. But the outcome was also important. But the way you outlined it was correct. And the way you answered with very specific outcome for the question, that was very nice. So hands off. Over to you guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I also thought, Arunima, I think the interview went very well. I've seen you in different forums as well. So your communication skills are spot on. You have a certain presence. You're able to connect with the panel. These are all very positive things that'll work in your favor, right? I have a very minor feedback, and maybe you should watch the recording as well. I think in the heat of the moment, what happened was when I was asking you about the ice cream study and you were giving me details, Rajesh was trying to engage with you. Right, like he was saying things like, "Oh, I didn't know that men are not able to differentiate it. I thought I was the only one." He was adding in humor and trying to connect with you, but I think in the heat of the moment, what happened was you were too focused on your answer, and you lost that opportunity to connect with the panelist. Right, you get very few such opportunities, by the way, because panels are also strapped for time. Right, if they're kind of like trying to connect with you, so grab that opportunity and engage in that humor and form that connection with that panelist. That way you'll score points, right? I completely understand. Well, you were in the heat of the moment and trying to finish your answer, but be cognizant of that, right? Always listen to the panels very carefully and kind of engage with them. Okay, that's like a minor feedback that I have for you. But otherwise, I think your answers were pretty good. In an actual interview, when you said that you were about, and Vasant will definitely talk about it because it was his question, but when you said that there were 5 to 6 people in the blind test, that's a very low sample size. In an actual interview, you will get grilled on this. Do you think this is statistically significant? What should have been the ideal sample size? Do you think the results are plausible given the low sample size? So be prepared to answer those questions.
So 5 to 6 people per round. So
all right.
Yeah.
How many rounds are we talking about?
3 rounds. Yeah.
Still very low.
Still 15, right?
Yeah, it was in person and CEO was coming a large scale. It would
understandable. So I'm just saying, be prepared
Yes.
to answer those questions and tell them. And if you think, see, if they bring up a point and it's actually low, it's okay to acknowledge as well. That,
No, I could also substantiate because that is the one part of the project. There is also another part that is a survey which is rolled out to hundreds of people across to substantiate what we find.
My gut feel is this was a more anecdotal thing and not statistical thing. In which case 15, 16 or 16, 17 is substantial. You want to sit and converse and get an update.
Right.
But then you'll probably have, I think what Jatin means is to stand your ground and if the question comes and you clearly say, this was not a survey to crunch data with. This was a survey to get the pulse of the consumer by having a series of conversations.
Right.
The conversation is the key and not the numbers or the data.
Absolutely. My point is be prepared to answer that.
Probably
had we had time, I would have gone there. And if you're telling me, okay, that's qualitative and then quantitative is survey, then that's fine. That's fine. But be prepared to answer that. That's my feedback. Over to you, Vasant.
Okay. As Jatin sir also told, one is sample size. Then I asked you about the kind of tests you guys did. I saw your profile as analyst. You should actually have asked me whether it is you are asking about qualitative test or you're asking about quantitative test, or at least name a few over there. And then had you asked me, the discussion would have been completely different. You are asking me what kind of test you are referring. Definitely not the way to address that kind of a question. Because
so I sort of, and I just got confused. There's certain research where you use p-value testing, hypothesis testing.
Exactly my point.
I kind of thought you might be insinuating that, which is very different from what we usually
Exactly my point. So that is what you could have told, and then you would have substantiated on that. Because the moment you told blind, that is the reason I also came up with that. Is it only the blind test you guys did?
Okay.
So the discussion would have been in a different note over there, Arunima. Got it? And then I think your numbers on budget time, on the GDP is a slightly on the lower side. I want you to check it out once. Okay. And when we say sectors, it has to be in a particular order. It has to be primary, secondary, and tertiary. So when it is primary, it's always agri. Secondary is manufacturing or industry, and tertiary is going to be services. So this is what we have to tell. That order is extremely important. So you told agri first, services, and then you start to the rest. And in fact, you forgot the secondary sector. I understood that because you took a pass, then you told it has manufacturing. I understood that. There is no doubt about it. But be prepared for that. And when I asked you about the budgeting thing, you told twice or thrice, if I'm not wrong, you told, I have to research.
Mhm.
Be prepared on that, because
Okay.
budget is something that has been like for now 15 plus days now. It is, I mean, almost 14 days now. So you should have definitely done your research by now. So go through that part. So
Also given the context of your background, BCom financial markets.
exactly.
So there's more expectation that you should understand, okay, 14 lakh salary, what my tax?
Hmm.
And 14 lakh salary, 12 lakh salary is be a tax, 12.75 with standard deviation, standard deduction, standard deviation, it will be practically nothing. 14 lakhs, it becomes higher. It was what it would have been this amount in the last regime. It is higher, but still 93,000 lower than what would have been that kind of bang numbers. Be very clear about that. I'm just shooting random numbers. I've not done the numbers. I don't need to. But you guys, you need to. So be ready with that.
Noted.
So I mean, that is it about that from my side. All the positives are already told, so I just addressed the other side of it. That's all.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Arunima. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best.
All right.
All the best.
Yeah. All the best. So folks, thank you so much for attending. If you like this, please hit the like button. If you didn't like the session, don't do anything. I'm just kidding. But this will be up on our YouTube channel.
Hit the like button.
You hit the like button again. Exactly. Be constructive. Hit the like button. Anyway, it will be up on our, obviously it will be up on our channel. So if you have any questions about your interviews, you can put it in the comments and then our team will get back to you. All the best to everyone watching. I know the interview season is at its peak. So, keep your wits together. All the very best to you and do well in your interviews.
Lovely, guys. Many thanks. Many thanks to the three brave souls who said, look, I'm jumping in and doing.
Yes.
I think you guys were frightfully well prepared. I simply wasn't this well, close to this well prepared for my interviews. I'm super glad that you're all super well prepared. All the best. You should have a bad capital. Those of you who are preparing, then I think a bunch of ideas were very common. Know about the company that you work in, work on details, work on numbers, make eye contact, make points broader and narrower depending on the context. I think it is all of you. I think I'm sure you'll be preparing, but I think focus on some key takeaways and then rework on them. Best wishes. Have fun. As Chatir has pointed, do drop in on comments. You want something else or you want some specific input. We will try our best.
Yeah. Sorry, Vasant, I'm just going to quickly comment on something and then I'll hand it over to you. But Anik Chakrabarti, who's our student, has asked a question very nicely. Anik is amazing. He's saying, does 2IIM have a dedicated GDPI program? Anik already knows the answer. He's doing it for us. Okay? Anik, good job, man. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. But yes, we do have a program. We do have a program.
Planted question ho gaya hai.
We didn't plant it. See, I'm being very honest about it. Anik, we didn't plant it. Anik is Anik. Anik is great. Anik, thank you very much. But yes, we do have a dedicated GDPI program. We'll send you the link. I think it's already been sent. If you're interested, please join in. You'll get all the training and plus 2 mock interviews from our stellar panel, excluding me that you saw. Stellar excluding me. Okay. Vasant, do you have any message for the students?
No, nothing, Jatin. Rajesh already told everything. Just all the best to all of you guys.
Yeah. All the very best, folks. And Arunima, Mohith, and Harsh, proud of you, folks. Well done. Well done.
Many thanks.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye. Second.
That's Abhishek need to sign us out or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I think he's doing that. He's doing that. Just 1 second.